Hey guys, Drutter here. It's September 23rd, 2013. I'm just out in my little mini garden patch here having a look. And some of these tomatoes are actually starting to ripen on the vine, so my gamble at keeping them out here for a little bit longer, as the weather has just barely held out for us, is turning out to be a good one. So most of them are inside in a box, but a few, these are my orange organics out here, are still outside, and yeah, they look like they are doing okay. As long as we don't get a freeze here in the next few days, these will start to ripen up, and then I'll bring them inside. What I like to do is put the tomatoes that are green, dry them off. I don't like to have any moisture in there when I do it. Dry them off nicely, wipe any dirt off, take any bits of stem off because the stem will go moldy, and then just bundle them up in newspaper, and that keeps them nice and dry and allows them to ripen. It also holds in those gases, the ripening gases, just like a banana. If you keep it in a bag, it'll ripen faster. Same thing with these tomatoes. So in about a few days, I'll open it up and have a look and see if any are ripe, take those ones out, and keep on doing that until they're all done. Just watch for any mold that might be growing in there. If there's any water in there when you put them away, that might get moldy. But yeah, that's how you ripen tomatoes inside. This is a Somali elephant coin, and I bring up the Somali elephant because there's a Somali connection to that African massacre that happened at a mall, and so I just thought I would show the Somali elephant and say that it is unfortunate what happened to those people at the mall. And I guess they were working with an affiliate of the CIA called Al-Qaeda, and these people, Al-Shabaab, I guess, is a portion of Al-Qaeda, just like CIA is. And unfortunately, there was a lot of people killed down there. So it's just a reminder: don't support terrorist organizations like the CIA. And I also wanted to mention, I heard on the local radio station today, a caller called in and said, are there going to be changes to the malls here in Canada? Because we have lots of malls here, and people like to go and do their shopping and buy iPhones and clothing at malls. And the person on the other end said he believes that there will be changes, and he's already hearing at the local level at least changes to mall security and different screening procedures and stuff to enter a mall. Wow, it's amazing how fast a crisis overseas can be used to change the lives of people here at home, and all in the name of course, making them more secure, safe, making things more convenient, easy, and cheap. All those buzzwords that just get people drooling and salivating for social change. Here's another three-letter group I'm not too fond of, FBI. And they've now called half the populace of the USA potential terrorists, because anyone who doubts the official story is now a terrorist, apparently, or it could be a terrorist and needs to be treated as if they perhaps are a terrorist. This adds to the list of other people who might be terrorists, such as people who are libertarians, people who believe in the Second Amendment, those who talk about the Constitution, or those who fear big government. So actually that sounds like a decent person right there. A libertarian who believes in the Constitution and is afraid of big government and is for gun ownership. That's not a terrorist. That's a good person. That's a decent, good person, in my opinion. So apparently, I guess I'm really a terrorist or something. It says here that law enforcement should be afraid of anyone who has had long gaps in their employment, does not support society, does not buy iPhones, that kind of thing. Being self-sufficient, having any kind of storage of anything. Those are terrorists now. Nice. Very quickly, a story I saw on The Province while doing some other research. It is about the Free Men on the Land movement, I think also known as Sovereignty Movement, and by other names as well. I think they're on the right track, these people, but anyway, this story is not a good story. Apparently some free man on the land has taken some woman's home that he was renting, and he claims it now as his own, or he claims it's an embassy or something ridiculous. Sounds mentally ill, but anyhow, I just wanted to point out the comments at the bottom here. are just scary, especially this Lee Johnson woman, who is apparently a top commenter, whatever that means. But she's advocating for people like this. You know, if you want to be free, get out of my country. You know, if you don't want to pay your taxes, if you don't want to contribute to the society, then you're garbage and you should be killed. We should beat the shit out of you and let you bleed out on the street because we know you're not even going to call the cops because you don't believe in that. All this kind of stuff. And the other commenters here, it just goes to show you how entrenched in the system people are and how they will fight to keep that system that is enslaving them in place. They will not give it up. And it just doesn't bode well for the stuff that's coming to the West. I think it's going to be really scary. Here's an article someone in Bullion Bugs just sent along. Interesting title. The government is spying on us through our computers, phones, cars, buses, street lights, at airports and on the street, via mobile scanners and drones, through our smart meters, and in many other ways. Well, I will agree with that. And including in many other ways. There's a lot more you could add to that list. What they're going to do with all the information they're collecting, well, I mean, a lot of it's already been used, but what they will eventually use it for, I'm not sure. But that is certainly happening anyway, and the article seems like it's a good read, so I'll pass it on to you guys. But I'll just give you a warning. Don't get upset about it, and don't get worried about it. Don't worry about big government, because then big government considers you a terrorist. If you're worried about them being big, then you're a terrorist, and then they can do things to you, like kill you, or put you in jail and not give you a lawyer and not tell anyone that you're in there. So don't worry about it. I'm just presenting this information so that you can be aware of it. We're not concerned. We don't believe in the Constitution on this channel at all, of course. We don't believe in Second Amendment rights. We don't believe in liberty, that kind of thing. That's crazy talk. Let's just be clear. This channel is about iPhones. You might recognize this map. I used the same map when I did that series on bridges and the way that they are slowly moving to a toll bridge system here in Vancouver. So the pink is the 5 bridges that we need to get across the Fraser River to get from one side of the Lower Mainland, that's what they call the Vancouver area, to the other. And if you don't use these bridges, well, actually this one's a tunnel here. If you don't use these bridges in this tunnel, then you can't get from one side to the other, and the city is spread out over both sides of the river, so you essentially don't live here unless you use these bridges. So I just thought I would put a little $sign, okay, it's a large $sign, over the bridges that are tolled. Now that's the Port Mann Bridge, that's the main bridge that goes over the number 1 highway. That's the highway that stretches from the west coast of Canada to the east coast of Canada. That's tolled. And the Golden Ears Bridge is a new bridge. That's tolled. And as you will see in a moment, they're talking about putting a new bridge, and of course a toll, on the Massey crossing. This is named after a former councilman of the area, George Massey. And he built this tunnel long ago. And now it's going to be torn down, and they're going to put a bridge up, just like the Port Mann Bridge, and that will be tolled. Now, the Pattullo Bridge is the alternate to the Port Mann Bridge, right here. Crosses between Surrey and New Westminster. That is being talked about being torn down and put up a toll bridge, of course. So now, once you watch the announcement of this bridge here being announced, then you will see that we have 4 bridges that will soon have tolls and 1 bridge that will remain untolled, at least for now. I think what they'll do once these other 4 are all tolled is essentially say, what? We have 5 bridges and 4 of them are tolled and 1 isn't. Well, that's just going to have to be told then, because I mean, it's going to be super busy. Everyone's going to be using that bridge. We just have to put a toll on it to stop all that extra use. So yeah, they will have a toll on all 5 of the bridges soon. Of course, a toll can't be taken unless there are license plate readers on the bridges keeping track of everybody who goes across the bridge. So with the tolls comes a complete loss of privacy if you want to travel at all within your city. And here's the government of BC and Christy Clark, that's our nasty, disgusting premier, introducing the concept of the new bridge, where there is just a tunnel right now. Love that government music. Think how easy, convenient, and safe this bridge is going to be. Look how big it is. I don't see the cameras and the license plate readers, but I guess they add those into the animation later. Wow. Look at all the commerce and people moving across that bridge. It's just going to bring new life to the area, just like the other bridges have. It's not going to go over budget at all. Ta-da! Yeah! Da, 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 yeah. There you have it, folks. What we need is a bridge, a very expensive $5 billion bridge built by, let me just guess, an American company, and a toll and a bunch of license plate readers. Yep, that's what Vancouver needs. September the 18th, 2013, crossing the Patello Bridge from New Westminster into Surrey. And you can see there's a truck up there that's taking up both lanes. That's one of the problems with this bridge, is it's narrow, so some wide vehicles like to take up both lanes, and then you can't get by on either side, so that slows things down sometimes. And in other news, the police in the local area are asking anyone who sees anyone using a device while driving, any kind of device, a camera or a cell phone, to take a picture of that person and send it to the police so that the police can punish that person for distracted driving. But I have a helper who helps me while I'm driving. Right, helper?
Yep.
That's right. And so I don't have to worry about that law. And it looks like we are having a problem here for the first time on the Patello since I've been recording it. We are getting delayed here on the way off the bridge. I see there's some construction ahead, so a bit of a delay. So what the heck is that? On the left there is just about $22, where I talked to you guys last time a few days ago. And then we had that Bernanke jump to 23.5, and now we're back at 22 again. So it went up $1.50 for a day and came right back down again. What a joke. This announcement-driven economy, I've heard it called, is a good way to say it. Nothing really moves on actual financial data anymore. No, are you joking? There's nothing real about this silver market at all. There's no supply and demand. There's no actual fundamentals. Not even the technical analysis of the chart really has much to do with it. It just goes where it's friggin' told. It's disgusting. So anyway, up it went and down it came. Just a note for anyone who thinks that this taper thing is going to push gold and silver prices down, you might want to think again, because before they were printing $85 billion a month, about a year ago, in fact exactly a year ago, the silver price was $35 an ounce. And since then it has gone nowhere but down, directly down. Every month we've gotten lower and lower and lower in price since that $35. So apparently printing money out of thin air does not push gold and silver prices up. It pushes them down. So when the tapering actually finally comes, by that logic, we should expect to see gold and silver prices go through the roof. And now that I've ranted so much everyone's either pissed off or turned the video off, I'll do a little bit about silver. And the US Mint updated today. It was a Monday again, so it looks like they are sort of sticking to that Monday thing. And that means that we will have one more Monday to report in the month. And we're at 2.5 million ounces of Eagles sold so far this month. And that looks like we'll end about 3.3, which is roughly what we had in June, May, March, and February. And lastly, here's one of the graphs I've been updating as we go. On the right here, this is 74% of 2013, and we're just past 35 million now. And the only year that gives us any grief at all is 2011. And we're going to be passing that in about a month and a half, on our way to 45 or 47 million for the year, an all-time record, despite the drop in price. Talk to you guys soon.